Oh my god, man. As you said, that's the way to interrupt the fast castle.
Here it
right? You
comes.
just go in there.
Here it comes.
There
I'm
we
gonna
go,
zoom
right.
for it. Here comes the gate. Start with my little intro. So on the left side of the map, I'll do some radio broadcasts for your audience. We have Nikov playing as the Mayans, and on the right side, we have a Meso War. Tato playing as the Aztecs. The two very traditional picks on an Arabia kind of map. It's not going to matter that this is Water Arabia or Bog Arabia or whatever it's called. They are still going to be Meso civilizations, and both the players are going to send their eagles out to hunt other players' boar. Only difference being that we have water buffalo instead of sheep, so of course the water buffalo have more food on them. There are some goats around here too, though, which I'll have to count up the food afterwards. And of course the two elephants, elephant and a rhino, in fact. So we'll have to count up the food afterwards. Are you in?
Yeah, I'm in all the time. I just try to fix the sound because it's quite loud. So if my viewers would be so kind to tell me if it's too loud, then I'll change it. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, this is where we are. Mainz Aztecs Meso matchup. I just put on Fenner 4 colors.
Yes,
did you do it as well? Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's maybe better. So yeah, on the left hand side, the Mayans here. If we just quickly look at the maps real quick because we got a bit of time for that one. Just worth mentioning that Nikov has quite a useful map here. Nice gold. I love the gold of Nikov. Definitely in a safe area that he can wall up somewhat and then just keep safe for the early part of the game. The other resources though, they're not in the nicest positions, especially the front stone and gold there. To the north he has another stone and whatnot, but I guess if he would go for some ambitious walling that we've seen from all the Arabia players in the past year so far, he could wall this one up quite well, not nicely, not maybe as fast, but there are chances. But if you compare it to Tato on the right hand side, he has this nice cliff there in the southwest. He has nice backwood as well, but he's best advised to actually do some walling or something to actually secure his resources, because I would not count on the fact that Nikov is going to play too, let's say, boldly here. If we especially pay attention to the eagle here, about to lame Tato's rhino, or at least the attempt of getting the rhino.
At the same time, Nikov laming himself by not properly luring in his elephant. It's going to go back, and that's going to cause some idle time. But that's better than Nikov. Nikov is just preventing the rhino from being taken, which is great news, especially if you're going to be an Aztec player who's going to invest a lot of food into a Dark Age rush. I'm surprised Nikov is not trying to lure the rhino back. I assume that he thinks that Tato is going to try to stop that, and Tato is in fact bringing his eagle back. But this is going to delay Tato's food economy, probably going to mess up his build.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that is a fact. We can now see that he has 5 villagers on the berries now, because he can. Well, he's going to go for another attempt now, taking the 5th villager, because he has his own scout now close by to deal with Nikov's scout. But Nikov does a great job here, just keeping Tato as busy as possible without taking any hits here. So far, both scouts with full HP. Nicely done. Interesting solution, but as you said it, damage has been done due to the fact that the rhino was taken later. That is certainly impactful here in the beginning, messing up Tato's build order here, at least to a certain extent.
Yeah, and Tato wasting a sheep as well, as he was focused on the rhino, and he killed the rhino. He killed the rhino!
Yep.
What an opening from Nikov. I think we said at the beginning, Nikov is going to have to throw off Tato a bit to gain an advantage in this matchup. I like, again, Tato's versatility with these new maps and his thinking, since he's played a lot with expansions and new strategies, that kind of stuff. But look at this execution from Nikov, and that is just great. Really throwing Tato off.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, the way he has actually dealt the first hits on Tato's scout by going on that little elevation there in the north of Tato's base was actually so nice that currently Tato needs to be extremely careful not to lose his scout, because he certainly lost the scout war over here. Nikov now going for the next stage, whereas Tato's getting loom right now, probably going to click up as well. And there we go. So the Mayans, of course, with a faster uptime with same villager numbers. Just look at that one. We now have a difference of roughly, what is that, 20 seconds, 25 seconds. That's going to be nice. If we look at what they're doing back at home, Nikov is preparing his men-at-arms. Currently the militia is in the making, and for Tato, well, that is quite some late barracks here for Tato. Asking myself what exactly it tends to do. Is that going to be... He's sending 3 villagers on gold now.
Yeah.
That's just going to be archers from him, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure if he could defend with just archers. I'm not sure if he's expecting the barracks. He's just seen it right now. But remember, Tato's scout was distracted this whole time. Really good start for Nikov. Again, Aztecs, they like to be aggressive, and the Mayans do like to wall and go archers a bit. But Nikov is going to be aggressive with men-at-arms of his own, and he has a militia advantage. If he can idle some of these villagers, force them to repair, then that's going to mean that Nikov can snowball this and keep his military production high.
Interesting things happening at the moment. Tato's going for some quite late militia here. Interestingly, distracting Nikov successfully, if you just look at that. Not so sure if that's the right decision by Nikov to follow this single militia here.
Where are you going, Nikov?
It's the biggest threat. Interesting.
What
Enough
are you
time
doing?
for Tato. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
What the heck is happening? Why is Nikov going back? Nikov might be thinking that there's a counterattack, but there isn't.
Yeah, there isn't. He's actually being debated by a single militia here. He's expecting the 2 other militia to arrive somewhere, but Nikov's actually wrong with that assumption.
And then Nikov's going to stone as well. I'm very confused at what's going on.
Wow. I mean, it's not quite useful what Nikov does here. Tato's incredibly in a situation that he shouldn't be in. Why is that even happening? Interesting decision by Nikov, giving Tato good situation because he should be the one with the disadvantage. Therefore, everything quite fine. And now, as we see, Tato is going for eagles here. Asking myself what he has up in his mind.
Yeah, Tato going for eagles, very unorthodox play. We of course have those men-at-arms from Nikov. Those are going to be super valuable against the eagles. And interestingly, Nikov putting up a tower on his own stone. He really wants that stone, and he wants that stone early. I think it's a little too early to go for that, and it's just such a defensive play from Nikov. I would have loved to see him pressure Tato even more and be more aggressive, just like he was with the eagle in the opening game. And now it's kind of forfeited a little bit of an advantage. I think Nikov still has a better economy, still has the archers out, but it could have been much better.
Could have been way better for sure. Probably just, as you said it, this tower is quite important because he wants that early stone income, that secured stone income, and he probably assumed that, yeah, Tato with the Aztecs probably with a lot of potential to be extremely aggressive, so he was maybe overprotective with his resources, with his playstyle here. He could have been more confident in that concern, but interesting, Nikov going for some safe play and some incredibly early wheelbarrow for his standards, that's for sure. But yeah, it's good to see. Now this engagement over here, Tato is now receiving some hits that he shouldn't have taken. Also with the villager over there, slightly questionable why he does that, but okay. Getting fletching as well. And also this army of Tato in front of Nikov's base, but not really able to find a position, to find that spot to go squeeze in through and actually deal the damage.
Yeah, Nikov's target's very easy. Nikov just wants to target the gold. That's all he's really thinking about. I was really worried for Tato early in the game if he was going to lose his gold. That didn't happen. Now it looks like Tato has enough army to defend, but Tato's always got to be mindful of defending that gold and getting enough gold income.
It's so far everything's going well. Market now in the making for Tato. Interesting. He's going to have the archer range and the market and a blacksmith. Okay, why that market man? Does he want to balance out something? That not that he's in that kind of position. Fair enough. Interesting, really. Does he plan on selling stone? Anything like that? Looks surprising here to me. And Nikov final with the blacksmith. Quite late. He's probably attempting to get the fletching upgrade. There we go. Tato with wheelbarrow and already a set of archers as well as skirmishes now. Just pressuring Nikov and keeping him inside of his base.
Yeah, if you're Nikov, Nikov has better economy upgrades because he's been able to focus on that. It wasn't pressured. So I think Nikov has a slight advantage here as long as he's able to defend because his economy is going to be much better. But other than that, it looks like a pretty even game, especially as far as military count is concerned.
Yeah. So far, quite equal, but just the map control definitely in the hands of Tato, at least potentially. Something to keep in mind here, Nikov taking his time, probably gonna go for a Castle Age without doing too much on the map, and gonna go for that castle. Question, of course, is going to be, is he gonna go for plumed archers, which he should, or does he just want to proceed with the archers, then crossbows? Because we've seen quite some crossbows, obsidian arrows activities here in this tournament. It might be, but I think it's going to be just more of a classical way, traditional man's gameplay with plumed archers.
Well, Nikov has gone. I think it's pretty evident he's gone to stone too early because he's sold 200 stone off right now, and even Tato's up to the next stage. So I think Nikov has the better economy, but just mismanaged it so much with the wrong resources that Tato with the worse economy can go up faster.
That's quite unfortunate because Nikov probably attempted to click up early because yeah, he's been way more defensive, but it just hasn't worked over here. With that one, Tato is going to be in a position where he can continue pressuring, and Nikov is going to be in that position where he must remain defensively in a defensive position for a longer period of time. That might be not according to his plan, and you know, even more towers now in the making. Yeah, he just feels the pressure, tries to keep it as safe as possible, but we have to keep in mind he has the stone walls, quite nice, but he only has 1 gold, that 1 gold to the back of his base, which is super safe, but he must get out of his base at least at some point to get more resources when it comes to the mid-late game.
Yeah, so Nikov is going to go for this castle. He's still mining stone heavily, whereas Tato has chosen not to go for the castle, not mining stone at all. Nikov also going out with some of the archers. Very heavy skirmisher build from Tato, and that's working quite well against the mines right now. I'm wondering what Nikov is going to do to counter the skirmishers, because crossbows is just not going to do it.
Yeah, that's it basically. Crossbows is not going to be the answer. Yeah, plumed archers. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But even with that one, you have the skirmishers. Now elite skirmishers very soon. So even if you have the plumed archers, you need to avoid the contact, or at least have some kind of answer to that one. I wonder if he wants to go for Eagles himself as well. We'll check it out. For now, he's about to reach Castle Age. Now the question is where to drop that castle. I would love to see it somewhat to the east of his base to protect extra resources, but I think he's gonna drop it quite defensively inside of his base, probably where Tato's army is at points, I would assume.
Well, he's going to get the siege workshop on the left, which hopefully allows him... Ooh, he's going to lose some archers. Hopefully allows him to drop the castle where he wants it to. And, oh, look at the tower at the north.
Yeah, okay. That's quite unfortunate. The villagers, they need to be garrisoned right away. I mean, the castle position is quite nice and quite safe for the villagers as well, because he's probably not going to lose any of them, at least. That was good reaction by Nikov.
That is such a risk from Tato. Tato taking a very risky play, and it pays off as that castle is, I hope, deleted. Yeah, it was deleted. So what a risky play, going in under that tower. He knows that Nikov doesn't have any army. He's only seen 1 archer range. This is what good scouting affords you. Wow. So he knows he can sit under that tower, and now he's going to try to prevent the castle. I think we might be seeing a good game as the skirmishers move in on the left side as well.
Yeah. As you said, at least there's this 1 mangonel. The siege workshop was a really good decision, but now the problem is you have 1 mangonel and you have 2 armies. If you go for the left-hand side, the castle is going to be denied. If you go for the right-hand side, the army is going to wreck the villages, and it is early GG. What?
Yeah, pretty crazy. Nikov with advantage early, but Tato with just some clean plays. Just getting, defending his gold, then pushing out. Nikov with some mistakes in his economy, and with his aggression. He chose to be super defensive, maybe thought there was a counterattack when there wasn't, chose not to push pressure the gold, stuck on 1 archery range, which he had to defend heavily, whereas Tato went up to 2 and outmassed an army. Of course, he chose the better army composition as well. Nikov going to stone too early, and just Nikov really messing up his economy quite a bit. And Tato going to take a risk and win the game right there.
You know, you rightfully say taking a risk over here. But you know, even if he lost his army, inside of his base he has 2 TCs already. That looks way more convenient than what we've seen from Nikov here. That's just insane. I mean, I wonder how the game would have gone if he just reacted slightly differently here. I mean, same plans, but different position of the castle right away. Keep it a bit safer, maybe place the walls slightly more different, because I feel that this was a bit too done, as in maybe Nikov felt way too intimidated, even though he shouldn't have been in that position. That's just some guesses as an observer. You said correctly, it's quite nice, quite sick from Ted what he has done so far. That's a nice, good game here. 1-0 already. Let's go for the next game. Let's go. Welcome everyone. I mean, are you in as well?
Yes.
Before I just start. Are you in the game?
Yes.
I mean, I'm asking because I cannot hear you anymore.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Better.
Are you in?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so welcome everyone. Demise Red here, being joined by Nobody41. This is game number 2. We got Melee versus Malians on the map Mangrove Flood. Top left-hand side, we got that with the Melee. And bottom right-hand side, Nikov with the Malians. It's an interesting map. We have the middle, where we have proper land and quite some resources, stone, gold, and a couple of wood patches. And then we got the shallows on the left and right-hand side. So there's water, there's the land. But in order to harass your opponents with navy, you need to go for some forward docks if that is your